Once in a while, a product comes along that answers a real need. With design so unique and benefits so obvious, it set a new standard in the market. That's the history of SR IVOCAP, and it's a success story worth sharing. When it's time to discuss full dentures with a patient, it isn't easy. They're afraid dentures may fit painfully, occlude incorrectly, and affect speech. After all, false teeth have the reputation as uncomfortable, unpleasant, and inconvenient. But all this has changed with the development of the SR IVOCAP system for denture prostheses. SR IVOCAP has made our work with prosthetics less difficult. It's a system that assures our patients comfort, convenience, and the most perfectly fitting dentures available. And the SR IVOCAP system is simple to prescribe. Thousands of laboratories worldwide are fully equipped and trained in the system. They use only certified IVOCAP monomers, and their quality is guaranteed, which means fittings will take less of your time and your patience. Until the advent of the SR IVOCAP system, traditional denture fabrication was fraught with problems, affecting the dental lab technician, the dentist, and most of all, the patient. Even today, the press pack or trial pack technique is inherently inexact. Technicians must manually measure the powder and liquid that is cured into denture-based resin. Small mixing errors are unavoidable, causing inconsistencies in the denture base. Mixing times are also subject to human error. This microscopic view shows what happens when the materials are mixed insufficiently. The resin contains polymer particles suspended in a resin matrix. The effect is less polishability of the denture base, possibly leading to abrasion between it and the gum tissue. Traditional fabrication systems have a serious built-in failing. They have no way to compensate for unavoidable polymerization and thermal shrinkage during curing and cooling. Conventional denture-based material, polymethyl methacrylate, or PMMA, expands with heat as cure begins and contracts during cooling. Standard trial packing produces tension in the material. Once released from the flask, it warps. Warping and shrinkage is responsible for the problematic space left between the tissue and denture base. Meanwhile, peripheral mold flash leads to increases in the vertical dimension of the base, migration of teeth, and warping. So, the mechanics of traditional dental fabrication are inherently prone to error, and the process, by failing to compensate for PMMA's natural shrinkage, leads to time-consuming and expensive remount procedures for the lab tech and more fitting appointments for the dentist. Likewise, the patient is subjected to an incorrect bite, repeated adjustments, discomfort, and stress. But there is a better way. Introduced in 1975, the SR IVOCAP system is a technique scientifically designed to solve these problems. The system is so successful, it is now the largest selling precision denture fabrication system in the world. With SR IVOCAP, you can assure your patients they are getting the best. That means fewer problems, reduced chance of open bites, distortion, tooth displacement, or painful pressure points. SR IVOCAP assures a proper, comfortable fit in a minimum of time. In most cases, one office visit is all it takes. Consider the opinions published by Clinical Research Associates, a nonprofit group of researchers who test and report on the efficacy of dental products. Leading those researchers is Dr. Gordon Christensen, world-renowned practicing dentist, researcher, and outstanding teacher to the profession. In 1987, he directed thorough testing of the IVOCAP system. His conclusions were published as follows. The SR IVOCAP denture resin and processing system produces polymethyl methacrylate prostheses and/or appliances with superior dimensional characteristics. The system is relatively simple, but the cost of equipment is high. CRA's research verified the following advantages of the IVOCAP system. Firstly, it caused no increase in vertical dimension of the prosthesis, a definite improvement over traditional processing methods. After mixing, the IVOCAP resin was homogeneous and bubble-free, also an advantage. Moreover, IVOCAP's unique injection molding technique minimized shrinkage. Laboratory time was saved because the need to reocclude the denture after polymerization was eliminated. Likewise, the dentist's time would be saved because fewer after-seat adjustments should be needed. Even in 1987, CRA's tests suggested IVOCAP's many advantages outweighed any minor drawbacks. Today, IVOCAP has made more improvements, using better packaging to eliminate the chance of contamination and increasing the shades of resin available. So let's take a closer look at how the IVOCAP system actually works to your advantage. IVOCAP starts with the PMMA material, but treats it differently. First, the laboratory is provided with pre-measured capsules of powder and liquid. The ideal ratio of mixture is assured and human error nearly eliminated. Also minimized is material contamination or exposure of the laboratory technician to end resin or noxious fumes. Next, the capsule is mounted on our patented cap vibrator and mixed at high speeds for 5 minutes, ensuring a homogeneous mix of the SR IVOCAP acrylic. The pictures show 2 heat-cured acrylics at 325 times magnification. On the left is the conventional material, mixed and processed according to the manufacturer's instructions. On the right is the SR IVOCAP acrylic. The difference in homogeneity is clearly visible, as is the difference in the final prosthetic product. The unique processing system is the cornerstone of IVOCAP's superiority. With it, polymerization and cooling are controlled and achieved efficiently, while other methods may require up to 9 hours. Another IVOCAP advantage is that the system uses high temperatures during the curing process to reduce the residual monomers from the denture base. This minimizes additional denture base shrinkage and possible tissue irritation to the patient. Other methods use lower curing temperatures, insufficient to drive out residual monomers. The SR IVOCAP system starts with a unique flask design in conjunction with special inserts that control heat and enable a controlled directional polymerization. The acrylic dough is continuously injected during the curing process. Together, they compensate for shrinkage. The denture material is injected into the flask for 5 minutes while under 6 bar pressure. Injection pressure is maintained during polymerization. While still under pressure, the unit is placed in boiling water for 35 minutes. The design of the flask plus the thermal insulator enables controlled polymerization from bottom to top. Polymerization shrinkage is constantly compensated for by the pressured feeding of SR IVOCAP denture material. Controlled stress relaxation is achieved during cooling with the injection and clamping pressure maintained. The isotherm plate demonstrates the essence and benefits of the IVOCAP system. It graphically depicts IVOCAP's controlled anterior to posterior polymerization and shrinkage compensation during injection. This sample was easily made by first injecting clear IVOCAP resin into a standardized stone mold within the system. After complete injection of clear material, the clear capsule was removed and replaced with a colored one. Polymerization was completed as usual, except that injection pressure was interrupted for 10 seconds at several intervals. The rings of porosity show polymerization progress, and the colored material is the amount of shrinkage compensation achieved with continuous injection to the full mold during polymerization. In the conventional process, this volume shrinkage would be distributed throughout the finished case as microporosity and inaccuracies. So what does all this mean? Firstly, to the patient, SR IVOCAP ensures sturdy dentures that fit, that occlude just as they did at the try-in, that don't require a post-dam for suction seal, and that minimize sore spots. That translates into less chair time and less stress and frustration. Typically, perfecting the fit of other dentures can take as many as 6 dental visits. With SR IVOCAP prosthetics, this may be reduced to a single visit.